Andy, welcome back. How are you feeling physically here?
Yeah, I feel better than I did during the grass. I've had another kind of 4 weeks training, and yeah, feel pretty good.
And do you mind turning
Oh, sorry.
your body? Sorry.
Yeah.
And I guess at this point in the season, have you made any adjustments to your game or anything on this comeback?
Not so much. Obviously, I've had a bit of time to work on some things, try and make some improvements on the stuff that in the matches that I did play during the grass that I didn't feel like I did particularly well. I've been trying to improve on that. Worked a lot on my serve, and I feel like I'm moving a little bit better around the court just because I'm a bit sharper, and that's really positive for my game.
You played Queens and played some grass court warm-ups, but you decided to skip Wimbledon. How tough was that decision for you?
Yeah, it was tough. Obviously, Wimbledon's a huge competition for me. Obviously, coming from the UK as well, probably made it a little bit harder. But it was, it was the right decision. I think at the time I didn't feel like I was quite ready to play 5-set matches. I'd got a few 3-setters under my belt in the build-up, but I just didn't feel like I was quite ready. But I trained all through Wimbledon. I was practicing on the hard courts from the Monday of the tournament starting, and really wanted to build up for this American summer and hopefully get fit and ready for the US Open.
It's been a while since you got to enjoy Wimbledon as a spectator. How'd you enjoy taking it in without the pressures of the tournament?
I didn't watch loads of it. Obviously, I did a bit of commentating, and the match I got to watch was a brilliant match between Nadal and Del Potro. I saw some of the Nadal Djokovic match as well, which was obviously another great match. But I was all right once I kind of made my decision. I'd done as much as I could to try to get ready, and I wasn't actually I didn't find it that difficult watching, and quite enjoyed doing the little bits of commentary that I did as well. So it was all good.
And the commentary, is that something? You said you enjoyed it. Is that something you could see yourself doing in the future?
I don't think so. I enjoyed it for that one match, and it ended up being obviously it was a brilliant match to do as well. But no, I don't think it's something that I would do kind of long term when I finish playing.
Obviously, Novak had an unreal tournament. You guys were both out struggling with injuries. Seeing kind of the way he's come back, has that given you any extra motivation or confidence that you could possibly do the same? Two completely different injuries and significantly different periods out of the game, so it's not easy to, look at his situation and compare myself to that. But I think more because the guys are around the top of the game just now in terms of their age and everything, that it seems like guys have been able to do a little bit better into their sort of early mid 30s. So that gives me a bit more confidence that if I can get myself in good shape again, that my level will be good enough to allow me to compete for the big competitions again. So obviously what all those guys are doing up at the top of the game gives you motivation to try and get back up there. But it's going to take some time. Seem pretty relaxed, having some fun on this kind of journey back up. Is it important to keep that frame of mind for you?
Yeah, it's a bit of both. Obviously, I want to enjoy kind of being back on the tour again, but the serious part of obviously winning matches and stuff is the is the most important thing. If I'm out here like losing first round every single week, I'm not going to enjoy that as much. So long as I get all the practicing and preparation done properly, I want to try and enjoy these next few years on tour whilst I'm still playing.
And is there a different mindset at this point? You're outside the top 800. I mean, is it you're working your way back up? How does that mindset change versus being at the top of the game?
Yeah, it's obviously not where I'd want to be ranking wise, but the good thing is like when you're right up at the top of the game, it's like it's not easy just to move up one spot. Like now, like if I win a couple of matches here, I could move up 300, 400 spots in a week, which is nice. So hopefully I can get back up there quickly. But it sort of feels like I'm kind of starting from scratch again. And obviously not been in that position since I was kind of 18. So I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be hard, but it should be fun.
With so little points to defend. Is there a little sense of freedom at this point coming back on the match court?
Yeah, I mean, certainly less pressure than what I would have had like in 2016, for example. But as soon as you get into the tournaments and start competing and hopefully start winning some matches, you know, your own expectations rise. Like right now, they're pretty low. You know, like here, I've not played a hardcore match for 18 months, so you know, I can't say I expect to play brilliant tennis. But you know, if I start to get into the tournament and win a couple of matches, then you know, I'm going to start to adjust my expectations and yeah, put a bit more pressure on myself.
Now being back here on tour, give you a little better appreciation after being out all this time for some of the various aspects of it?
Yeah, I mean, I realised kind of how much I loved the sport. Obviously, being out for such a long time, but I never had an issue with like any of the travelling or airports and hotels and stuff. I've always really enjoyed that part of it. That was something I actually missed, and yeah, happy to be back on the road again, and hopefully it continues for a while.
What are your expectations coming into this first hardcore tournament in Washington?
Yeah, I mean, the expectations are pretty low. I've been practicing quite well, I think, in the practice that I've had. I've been competitive with, you know, all the guys I've been playing with, which is a good sign. Obviously, just need to try to transfer that onto the match court, which is a bit harder than what people think sometimes. You know, the mental side of things is challenging, but you know, physically I'm getting a bit stronger all of the time, so I'm hoping it won't take too long.
And further ahead to the North American, the rest of this hardcourt swing, what are those expectations, or have you set any specific goals?
To stay healthy, that's kind of it just now, and if I do that and kind of get the match fitness back, I'm hoping that kind of more towards the end of the year and beginning of 2019, I'll be feeling more like my old self, and set myself up for a good year in 2019.
I think this is your third time out here in Washington. You made the final the first time in 2006. What are your memories against with that match with Clement?
I actually remember I think it was the first time I ever played with Hawkeye. I remember it being unbelievably hot that year. I played Ramon Delgado in the first time. I couldn't believe the conditions. It was brutal. They start the match a little bit later now, which is, you know, helps the players a little bit. But obviously lost in that final to Clement. But yeah, my first memories of Washington were, you know, the conditions there. They're pretty brutal out here.
And at that point in your career, you were just kind of coming up through the rankings. Is there any similarities or anything at this point in your career making kind of a second push up those rankings?
I don't know. I mean, it's different situation, obviously, but you know, like I said, it is a little bit like starting from the beginning in terms of, you know, my rank. I was ranked much higher when I came here in 2006. I don't know, I think I was in the top 50 in the world at that time, and now I'm 838. So long way to go to get back up there. And
then lastly, just Washington. Why did you decide to make this your first hardcore tournament back?
Well, I like it here. It's a really nice city to visit. The tournaments, it's got a lot of history. You see all the winners on the centre court. When you look around the board, you got some of the, you know, the best names ever have won here. So you know, that's always nice coming to a tournament that's got great history. And also, you know, the conditions, they're extremely tough, challenging conditions, but it's a good way to get matches in ahead of this stretch, and hopefully it'll set me up for a good run through the whole of the American hardcourt season.
Cool, thanks.
Thank you.